Good morning. How are you? Welcome back to the One Day One Concept Idea. So this week we're talking about renewable energy management and also the different energy efficiency strategies. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna talk about a topic I talked about it already in this platform. So before you start shouting, say, hey, Tony, we've seen it already. So how come you forgot already? I haven't forgotten. I know I'm getting old. Yeah, like you every day you're getting older. But in the concept of what we're talking about, energy efficiency strategy, I thought it's important to bring it back. And also don't forget that the repetitions is good, is a mother of science. I don't know actually, I forgot it. Yeah, excuse me. But I just want to say repeating as well, it's not a bad thing for you because it allows you to reinforce whatever knowledge you have anyway. So what I want to talk to you about today, it's something I've talked about before, which is energy storage. It's a critical component of renewable energy management because it allows you to store excess energy, from renewables energy sources during time when the demand is low, and the use for store energy and use the store energy when the demand is high. Yeah, so that's why we need energy storage for. Yeah, and like I say, this is in the context of energy efficiency strategies. So this is actually what energy storage is. So the importance for the renewable energy management in this context is that it plays a crucial role, right, for several reasons. First of all, it allows you to reduce energy waste. By storing the excess generated from the renewable energy sources, you can reduce the waste and ensure that we use that when we use all of the energy we produce, or as much as we produce. We're just using that when the demand is high, right? Instead of wasting that, we keep that, and when the demand is high, we can use it. It also helps you to manage your energy demand. Yeah, when you use store energy during peak demand period, yeah, basically, like I say, so when you store energy and you can use that in the peak demand period, that's good for you. That means you don't need to rely maybe on the grid that could be more expensive at that time. But in the peak demand, normally it tends to be more expensive. By using storage at that time, it's good for you. It helps you to reduce the cost, right? So that is what is also good. So, and also you're supporting the grid stability because energy storage can help maintain the grid stability by balancing supply and demand. Yeah, because the whole thing about the grid, it's about balancing supply and demand. You want to make sure that when the demand is high, supply can follow. When the demand is low, the supply can follow, right? And energy storage allows the user to do that, by reducing the likelihood of power outages. That what it's doing. Now, uh, one thing that I wanted to discuss, I don't know whether we covered that last time. To be honest, I forget a little bit, but I want to talk about the different type of energy storage. Yeah. So because most of the time we only hear about the first one, which is batteries. This is the most common energy storage system, and they are often used in residential and commercial applications. They store electricity using chemical reaction, and they can be charged and discharged as needed. Yeah, that's the first time I know you sometimes comfortable with. But batteries are not the only forms of energy storage. You also have pump hydro storage. They use excess electricity, to pump the water, uphill, right? So the charge of energy in pumping uphill, and where it is actually stored in the reservoir. And when the energy is needed, the water is released, flowing through a turbine that generates electricity. Yeah, so that's another way of storing energy. Yeah, you also have thermal energy storage. Thermal energy storage, store the heat or cold, allowing it to be used for heating or cooling later on. This is actually the principle that is used with CSP, concentrated solar power, right? When you're actually using a lot of heat, you concentrate that when you're heating a fluid, that fluid that will actually keep the heat, right? And you have some kind of a thermostat around it that keep the heat there that you can release later to go same thing, drive a turbine. That's how you're going to be generating electricity. So this is one thing that you need to know. So the challenges of energy storage, so they are known, right? The cost is one of them. It costs quite a lot of money. It can be expensive to install and maintain. So it makes them less accessible for some businesses and some individual. Yeah, and I know something about it. So efficiency, right? So some system will have lower efficiency rate, meaning that they're not at all the energy store that we would like to have, right? So that means it may not be adequate. And also the suitability. So the material to manufacture energy storage, lithium ion, they can sometimes have negative environmental impact. And also, like I say, you can't always have a pump, a pump hydro storage for you, right? You need some space and yeah, some like I say, material to have it. So that's the kind of inconvenience that you have with energy storage, but it's still a very much important aspect of the energy efficiency strategy. Hopefully that makes you much more knowledgeable about the topic. Yeah. So if you like it, three things that I want you to do. I want you to like the video. I want you to comment it, and I wanted to share with other people. As of me, I see you tomorrow, and we're going to talk about another aspect of energy efficiency strategy. Take care. Bye bye.